To rebel against defeat, chase excellence, masculinity, and of course, men first. I got a buddy. He's been cheated on 4 times. Just found out the 4th time. He won't leave her. Remember, the tree never runs out of branches, okay? He's not leaving her because he's in love with the fantasy. He's in love with the fantasy in that internal bank account that he has from her, that she gave to him, you know, probably at the beginning of the relationship, appreciation. She chased him, lots of attention, lots of sex, lots of you name it. And he's in love with that version of her. So this is what clouds men. Men get clouded when they realize the reality doesn't line up to the fantasy. They don't want to believe and look at the reality because the reality is scary. The reality is garbage. But the fantasy keeps their attention. The fantasy of her, of who she was, of who they were, keeps him in the loop, keeps him engaged, keeps him basically apologizing for her actions and taking the accountability on himself. He's actually believing that he pushed her to have an affair 4 times, guys. Now, if your woman has an affair on you and you take her back, you can't give me the kid, I've got kids, I've got 20 years excuse. The reality is she disrespected the relationship. Now, this can go to men as well if men have cheated and women are watching. It's the same thing with men. But the fantasy of my buddy is believing in the version or the narrative of her in the very beginning. He doesn't want to let that go. He's made such an investment. You know, here's a couple cracks in the foundation. We can patch those up. But no, the foundation and the integrity of that foundation is no longer 100% anymore. It's cracked. Those cracks will always exist, and the structure is now weakened because of that. But what does he do? He's going to paint over those cracks in the foundation and act like nothing ever happened and go back to that fantastical version of her. And this is why guys continue to take back cheating exes, because they love the fantasy. They love the fantasy of being with her. They love the fantasy of not being alone. But the truth is, they are alone. The truth is, there is no love. The truth is, that foundation is cracked beyond repair. So remember that when you're thinking about your ex that cheated on you, don't take the ownership that she cheated because you pushed her away. No, it's a conscious choice. If a man cheats or a woman cheats, they decided to do it. They decided to leave the relationship and to seek attention elsewhere. That is the reality. The fantasy will keep you in basically in a loop that you can't get out of. This is Rebel Against Defeat, Chase Excellence, Masculinity, of course, men first.